The 2024 National Housing Conference is taking place in Ottawa today, a day after the Liberals released a series of ads attacking Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre and his stance on housing. For more on this, we're joined live by CTV's Colton Preyle, who's in the nation's capital. So Colton, housing is the focus for pretty much every party leader across the country from coast to coast to coast. So what are you expecting to hear today?
That's right, Beatrice. It's been a political hot-button topic for months now. The focus of this conference is really going to be on two key issues for Canadians. One, it's on lowering the cost of housing, and two, it's about increasing the supply at which we are building housing and the rate at which we are building that supply. And that's critical because, as we know, there's a 3.5 million home shortage needed by 2030. That, according to the CMHC, the same group, of course, that's hosting this conference. The housing minister is there right now. He's delivering his keynote speech, and a lot of the focus over these next 2 days is going to be around innovation, on improving how homes are built. And that means things like prefabricated homes, creating an improved supply chain in order to have replicable pieces or entire homes themselves that become part of that construction in order to speed things up. It's about how to use AI to make sure that the process is more cost-effective and expedient. It's about using robotics in the creation of affordable homes so that that process can also be cheaper. It's something that the country really hasn't been building as much. And all of this comes as we're actually seeing home starts rebound a little bit, up 11% in the month of February year over year. A lot of the builders that I've been speaking to say they think we're coming out of that high interest rate slump, especially that we saw in 2022. And while construction is far below what it was pre-pandemic, it is starting to show signs of improvement, especially in the construction of multi-unit homes. These are condos, these are row homes, triplex, duplexes, whatever it might be. As we're seeing, one, the GST rebate for rental builds, but also two, more cities changing their zoning to allow for multi-unit builds without having to rezone the land. Those types of units are being built much faster, and there's a significant focus at this conference on changing the way that housing is built. All of that to say, there is talks of progress at this conference. At the same time, though, it's become that political wedge. Pierre Poilievre, 3 months ago, came out with that viral documentary-style video that was watched over 1 million times about housing and how that glut has ballooned, or how that lack of supply has ballooned over the last several years. This weekend, we saw the housing minister finally respond with his own similar-style video against Pierre Poilievre, essentially framing it as Poilievre doesn't care about housing, something I'm sure the Conservative leader would object to. But this has become once again a very hot button issue, and part of it is because, yes, housing is slowly starting to improve. We're seeing some shifts in the market, but also this is clearly an attempt to change the channel as well. In the House of Commons, they're finally back this week. We know the carbon tax jump is going to be a key focus of discussion. The Conservative leader has filed for an emergency debate on this today. It's going to be the focus of their opposition. Whether or not Canadians focus on the carbon tax or on housing, that's going to be the interesting thing to watch. Beatrice?
And with immigration rising and more people coming in, we need more housing. CTV's Colton Preyle reporting live. Colton, thank you.